With the NA servers officially offline and the pre-patch being a matter of hours away, I want to give you a list that I personally think everybody should be doing in the first days of pre-patch. When I say first days, I mean, to be fair, for the full 20 days. I'm going to do my absolute best to keep this under 5 minutes, because most of it you've probably heard in thousands of other Cataclysm preparation videos. Firstly, guild rep. Now, guild reputation is going to be a big one, because if you don't know, we've had some clarification now around the guild system. The guild system, in fact, is going to be streamlined. Whether I like that or not is a topic for a different video. But guild reputation is going to be incredibly important, because no longer are the heirlooms gated behind the guild leveling system. Instead, now the heirloom cape comes from honoured and the heirloom head comes from revered. Now, it's important to note that these can be used all the way to level 85, so getting your guild reputation maxed out is incredibly important during the pre-patch, because it's going to speed up your 80 to 85 leveling. The thing is, what we're not clear on at the moment, but we will be very soon, is if Blizzard have bothered to add a reputation cap. Now, how it should actually work is there should be an individual member cap of 4,375 rep per week, which actually means with 3 full resets, you're only going to be able to get 13,125 rep. Now, as you know, it's going to take 3k to get to friendly and then 6k to get to honoured. So that's going to be 9k straight away. Then you're going to need a further 12k to actually be able to get the head, which can actually mean if the cap's in place, you're not going to be able to get the head until the week after Cataclysm actually launches, assuming you're capping your reputation every week. But that isn't necessarily 100% accurate, because from what I've seen so far, I've not noticed a reputation cap on the beta or the PTR. So my advice would be, if it turns out there is no reputation cap in place when the pre-patch goes live, absolutely hammer that reputation out, because they may add one at a later date. So you're probably like, well, how do I get guild reputation? Well, turning in green or better quests, guild group kills on dungeons and raid bosses, guild group arena and rated battlegrounds, which obviously we're not going to have rated battlegrounds, and even just honourable kills give guild reputation as well. So actually you can just do more or less whatever you want and get guild rep. And of course, once you get friendly, you're going to get a tabard as well, which is just going to speed everything up. Like I say, I just want to reiterate, if there is no reputation cap, this should absolutely be your #1 priority in the pre-patch in case it changes. Secondly, archaeology. Don't need to spend too much time talking about this. You're going to want to get 450 archaeology. Now, there's a lot of back and forth on whether we think we're going to be able to get things like Zinrock or even the staff, but they require 450 to solve, and on the basis, you know, all the game files are up to date, literally to level 85 on the beta, as in the patch version of what we're going in on in the pre-patch is exactly the same as the beta, and you can get them on the beta. I kind of feel like we will be seeing some of these epics at level 80. I could be wrong, but I would kind of at least go quite hard with archaeology, solving as much as possible. You know, after a week or so, I'm not saying a week solid, but after a week or so, if you haven't seen any 359 epics, then just stock up ready for launch, because by then you would have expected to see one. But Archaeology has got some fantastic items that you're going to want probably for your pre-BIS sets at level 85, so making sure it's maxed and stocking up on fragments and keystones is an absolute must. And then next is the quest prep stack for launch. Now, many people have been asking when I was going to do a video about this, because I did talk about it a few weeks ago. The only reason I chose not to put it out was because Rested XP reached out and told me that they were actually doing an 80 to 81 pre-patch preparation guide, so there was kind of no point. Now, as always, there'll be a link in the description and the pinned comment if you want to pick this guide up. But quite honestly, if you haven't literally done every single quest in Northrend, it is probably going to be worth it for you. I've played my Paladin throughout all of Wrath of the Lich King, and I can get 1.8 million XP at launch. It's just some running around. It will probably take an evening to sit and smash it out. There, of course, is some quest items, so things like Onyxia's Head, Reply Code Alpha from Ulduar, but it will calculate how much XP you can get based on you. So if I go on my Shaman, it's 2.5 million that you can get, but that's a fresh boosted character with access to absolutely everything. But ultimately, on launch day, if you want to just fly around and get to 81, 81 and a quarter, something like that, without actually stepping foot into Cata content yet, absolutely pick it up. As I say, links in the description anyway. Then leveling an alt. And I think leveling an alt is really, really important. Now, when it comes to getting reputation, if there's no cap, leveling an alt can actually be a really fast way of getting reputation anyway, to be able to buy the heirlooms for the rest of your characters. But you're going to want to level an alt to experience the new zones, possibly the new Goblin and Worgens, but with all the new talents and everything, it's just going to be a lot of fun. My plan is to be streaming all of this on kick.com/Scottejaye, smooth plug, and more or less just smashing random Dungeon Finder all the way until Outland and then questing, because Outland has had its XP reduced and Northrend has had its XP reduced massively. And don't forget, because of the streamlined guild system, we're going to have bonus XP just from that as well. So bonus XP, if you get all your heirlooms, including the cape and the head, and I mean, it's just going to be so fast in it. I don't really need to go into much more detail. So yeah, absolutely think about a character that you haven't got, or maybe a character that you want. Let's say you're a paladin. I'm going to be leveling a second paladin at some point during the pre-patch because I love paladin. But trust me, leveling in Cataclysm is a lot of fun. And then finally and really quickly, hit all of your caps ready for launch. This is kind of a no-brainer, but make sure you're going into launch with 4k justice points, 4k honor points. If you're on EU and you haven't already bought loads of Wintergrass commendations to be able to convert into honor when you're actually 85, go and do that. You've probably got lots of time on EU, or when I say lots of time, you've got the rest of tonight until, well, servers go down to be spamming heroics, get loads of Stonekeeper shards to be able to get some more Wintergrass commendations to turn into honor, but make sure you're getting rid of your Stonekeeper shards, because these do convert on the PTR, they do convert on the beta, and I really, really think they will convert to over 150 honor per commendation when Cataclysm actually launches. And the reason I say over is because they're affected by the guild banner, they'll be affected by the guild perk, so yeah, it's about 175, I believe. But that's it. That's what I think you should be doing during the pre-patch. In fact, that's what I think you should be doing during the pre-patch in that order as well, because that's exactly the order that I'm going to be doing things in. Guild rep #1, because if it's got no cap, we want to take advantage of that very early and then work your way down the list. I hope you enjoyed the video. Good luck in the pre-patch, everyone. NA that's going in tonight and EU guys tomorrow, and I'll see you on the next one.